Thank you.
Yes.
guys can be seated. You're good. You're good. Yeah. Well, good morning. Thank you all for being here. This is awesome, right? Look around. And it's been 3 years since we've been able to do this, and so it is so wonderful to have you all here. And I say 3 years because the last time we had a white coat ceremony was 3 years ago. All of them have been virtual. But so thank you all for being here for the white coat ceremony for the class of 2023. My name is Dr. Fraser Horn, and I have the honor of being Dean for Pacific University College of Optometry. In addition, I have the fun task of being the MC for today's ceremony, and it is truly a pleasure to be here. Now, this is a day that's been planned out for over a year, and it has been, I will say, it's worth the wait, right? Before we begin, I want to thank our amazing staff that helped put on today's ceremony. Emily Engelman, Lena Armstrong, Mickey Buckingham, Alex Steele, Melanie Tan, Dale McGill, and the rest of the staff who are helping to put this on. Let's hear for them. Also, the students are here because of their support system. Whether you are here in person or online, we know that the students are here due to the love and support of their partners, children, parents, family, friends, staff, faculty, patients, and even their pets. So thank you for all of your support. Today's ceremony is usually about the entrance into clinical care. However, you've all been in clinic for about a year now, so it's not an entrance. I look at this as the threshold to your fourth year rotations. In celebration of you venturing out to fourth year, you're gonna hear from our esteemed colleagues, our state association, your class president, and also receive a pretty fancy new coat, right? Now, this coat tells everyone that you have entered a new level of responsibility due to your dedication. So a quick word about dedication. You have started out your clinical career full of excitement, maybe a little bit of nerves, right? This excitement will continue for years to come, and please don't let that excitement fade. Because when it does fade, sometimes it leads to what we call, quote unquote, the routine. There are providers who feel like every patient is a diagnosis. They are happy to see them, provide quality care, and the thought of seeing patients has become routine. My challenge to you is twofold. One, when you are on your rotations, watch how your attendings interact with your patients and learn from them. Observe how they care for their patients as an individual and how they may be avoiding treating them like a routine issue. Notice how they're dedicated to their patients. You will learn so much in management of patients, and you'll learn about the importance of how one interacts with each other. My second challenge is for you in your future career. The challenge is to be dedicated to your patients and monitor yourself in order to avoid thinking of your patients as routine. Nobody is routine. Everyone is important, and you can learn from every interaction if you are open to it. I have no doubts that each of you are about to embark on your fourth year full of excitement. Please know that we are all here to support you through the challenges and also here to celebrate your success. We're so excited for you all. So speaking of being here for your blah, 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 blah. It's easy for me to say. Speaking of being here for your success, you likely want to hear from the speaker that your class chose to provide the keynote address. The speaker you chose is an alumnus of Pacific University College of Optometry. He has worked in multiple modalities of practice, including private practice, military, and obviously academia. Hot dog, he has done an amazing job at Pacific, and we are proud to have him here. He'll be the first to admit that his success is due to the love. Wow, that was good. What is awesome is I was going to talk about how much you love your family. So that is awesome. All right. So he loves running. He's proud of Pacific. He loves Kansas Jayhawks, right? But most importantly, he loves being here for you all. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Bill Heffner. That was awesome.
I don't think there's any recovering from that. Good morning, Dean Horn, Dean Kenoshita, distinguished guests, staff, faculty, friends, family, and most importantly, the class of 2023. Welcome to a very special day indeed, a day in which we pause to celebrate the people we call sons and daughters, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, husbands and wives, loved ones, and now, colleagues. Many would say that this is your day, and while I wouldn't disagree, I would be an error if I allowed you to believe it was all about you, because it's not. While you're the ones that get to come up here and be front and center to don the white coat that symbolizes the next evolution in your education, you're sharing the day with countless others who've helped you get here. I'm talking about the people in your life who've supported you through it all. The ones that remained ever optimistic when you didn't think you were going to get into optometry school. And then after you got here, gave you those little pep talks that you so needed after not passing one of your 500 proficiencies or suffering through one of Dr. Kundart's famously humbling exams. Those same folks who let you practice direct ophthalmoscopy on them until they developed a permanent blue-hued blind spot. Those same folks who would listen all intently, albeit glassy-eyed, as you blathered on about Weiss's ring or posterior embryotoxin or thyroid eye disease, or tried to explain why prism was like garlic and should be doled out judiciously. And they are the same folks, some that are with us, some that are not, who beam with pride at your accomplishments today. But I'm also talking about some other folks who helped you get here too. Take a second and look to your left, look to your right. Yeah. These folks helped you get here too. You helped each other along the way, and in the process you became a family. You've supported one another through some of the most devastating losses imaginable, and we're there to celebrate those occasions that highlighted all that is good in life. You rooted for each other to succeed during one of those aforementioned countless proficiencies and finals that just never seemed to end, and were always there when one of your own needed you the most. You checked in on one another just because, and you gave freely of your time and what little treasure you have because it was the right thing to do. So why do I bring all of this up? Because those experiences, like the donning of the white coat today, represent a transition in your life. It represents a metamorphosis from the egocentric to the other-centric, and from the introspective to the extrospective, fully embracing that your success isn't just your success, it's our success. Understanding that giving so freely of yourself benefits not just you, but everyone around you, and not just your family, close friends, and colleagues, but your future patients and your communities as well. You're all on the threshold of greatness, not just because you've been told how special you are or because you see yourself as young doctors, but because God has gifted each of you with the abilities and talents that only a small fraction of humankind will ever fully realize. But being imbued with these gifts isn't enough. It's what you do with them that will either catapult you across the threshold or see you languish in a pool of unfulfilled potential. What I'm going to share with you next isn't some secret recipe for success. It's the practical knowledge that I've gained through my interactions with people infinitely smarter and more talented than myself. A multitude of mistakes I've made along the way, and the benefit of living a relatively long time, at least according to my teenage daughter. First, be relentless in your pursuit of excellence, but don't confuse excellence with perfection. Let me tell you a little story. In the fall of 1995, when I was a fourth year, I had a single goal, and while that should have been to graduate and pass boards, it wasn't. Don't tell the boss, but I wasn't necessarily the best student in my class. That honor was reserved for my good friend and colleague and your faculty member, Dr. Yetkovich. My main focus that year, rather, was to qualify for the U.S. Olympic trials in the marathon. I spent the spring semester my third year and all the way through the fall semester my fourth year logging mile after mile around the Grove and the Naval Air Station on Whidbey Island. I'd run 3 times a day, sometimes I'd hit 140 miles a week. My focus race was to make the 2-hour and 20-minute cutoff was the Seattle Marathon, 3 days after Thanksgiving. Race day came, and in typical Seattle fashion, it was raining and in the 40s. A point-to-point race back then. They loaded us on buses and took us to the starting line. As the gun went off, I quickly settled into my pace, 5:20 a mile, click, click, click. It felt good early on, sloshing along shoulder to shoulder with the same dude for nearly 17 miles into unusual headwinds around the shores of Lake Washington, being pelted the entire time by horizontal rain. But eventually the elements took their toll, and 2 hours and 37 minutes later, I trotted across the finish line in 8th place. I was light years away from the qualifying time, and in that regard, I'd failed. I'd given everything I had that day, but it wasn't enough. Was I bummed? Sure. Did I let it define me? Maybe for a little while. But eventually I came to understand that as long as I was relentless in my pursuit of excellence and that I left everything I had on the race course, I couldn't ask for anything more. This race became a pivotal point in my life. You see, up until then, I'd always viewed the result or the product as the penultimate goal, what defined a person. But that day, as I sat on the ground, soaking wet, wrapped in a solar blanket, shaking uncontrollably, I had an epiphany. The result wasn't what actually mattered. It was what I learned along the way that really mattered. Because we all too often focus on the result, product, or in your case, the grade. Instead of the process, we miss the valuable lessons that punctuate our life's journey. We tie our self-worth to a singular outcome, a win, a loss, a pass, a fail, a promotion, or a termination. But rarely are those events divorced from the pathway that led to them. Those outcomes don't just magically appear, rather they're representative of everything that came before. Trust me on this, even if it hasn't happened to you, you will suffer a setback or flat out fail. It's okay. There's a quote that's been attributed to, among others, Winston Churchill, in which he says, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the will to continue that counts." Always remember this. Failure is just the test. How you bounce back, that's what will define you. And if by some chance you think that the title doctor somehow immunizes you from flawed decision-making or flat-out mistakes, I remind you that you will be wearing the white coat of a doctor, not the white robes of a god. You're not perfect. You'll make mistakes. Your patients know that. Hold yourself to a high but attainable standard and relentlessly pursue excellence in every facet of your life. Second, don't give us your best. Let me say it again. Don't give us your best. Give us your better. As many of you know, I'm a fervent believer in lifelong learning, and not just to learn useless esoteric information. Rather, it's an intentional effort to better serve those with whom I work, my patients, my staff, my colleagues, my students. From human nature to interpersonal relationships, to crucial conversations, to active listening and critical thinking, I've devoted a great deal of time and energy trying to be better. Better than my last conversation, better than my last decision, better than my last action. In short, every day I strive to be better today than I was yesterday. Why? Why? Because you deserve not just my best, you deserve my better. You see, in my humble opinion, better is a relative term that when applied to one's own performance provides a frame of reference that allows for continual evaluation of whether you're improving or regressing. I did better today than yesterday, or I did better on this exam than the last one. It represents a growth mindset. Best, on the other hand, represents a temporary position, a ranking, a status, or in certain cases, frank stagnation. I gave it my best, past tense, or I'm the best, current tense, indicating a status or a lack of progression. I bring this up because I would propose that you may really never know what your best is, and that as soon as you think you do, you've just put a cap on your potential. To say something was your best is to say that you have no more to give, no improvement to make. But most of the time, that simply isn't true. We have a little more to give. We can dig a little deeper, and in fact, we aren't tapped out. Perhaps even more dangerous than this, though, is adopting this passive mindset for yourself, however, is when you convince yourself that someone else has given their best, because at that precise moment, you've capped their potential in your eyes. Do you really know that that was their best? Now, please don't get me wrong. I'm not advocating that we don't celebrate individual accomplishments and achievements when someone performs well. To the contrary, lavish them in well-earned praise, but make sure you focus your attention on their actions that got them there, not the result. Tell them how much you respect and admire their hard work and dedication that went into their achievement. Oddly enough, what you'll find is that this simple action of reframing the focal point of your compliment will move them from celebrating their best to figuring out how to be better. So what's my point? Well, it's pretty simple. As you slip on your white coats each day, I implore you to continue asking yourself, how can I be better today than I was yesterday? Because if you do that, you will have given all of us, your patients included, the best gift we could have ever asked for. You'll have given us your better. Finally, always remember your why. Do you remember when I asked you on what your why was during our first class together in August of 2020? Show of hands. Does anybody remember that? Okay, a couple do. That's probably the only thing they ever actually took out of my class. If you remember what you said, kudos to you, but just in case you didn't, I jotted a few of them down. Some of you were quite literal when I asked the question, what's your why? And promptly went on to explain why you answered the previous question the way you did, carefully explaining why the 20/40 blur helped you understand that your retinoscopy findings were overplussed. Concrete thinkers with a laser focus, to be sure. I know why you folks answered my question that way. It's because you never had a faculty member probably quite like me, a bit of an odd duck amongst swans. It's okay. But here's what others of you had to say. I want to practice in underserved communities where people may be afraid to get help because they can't afford it. I've been there, and I want to give back and help others who grew up like I did. I love the idea of making a positive and often immediate difference in people's lives. Vision is our most important sense, and protecting or returning that sense to patients can be life-changing for them, and I want to be part of that. Another, both my mom and sister are legally blind. I've seen firsthand the impact that vision, or the lack thereof, has on our lives. I hope to bring empathetic care to my patients because of my prior exposure and experience. Another of you said, I volunteered at the nonprofit in my neighborhood. It was a clinic that helped undocumented, underserved people that didn't have access to health care. The optometrist inspired me to pursue optometry so I can go back and help my community and others. And then there's this. I want to be someone my family and loved ones are proud of. I asked that question at that time for one simple reason, to make you really think about why you're here. You see, what you didn't at that time as of yet know was that you were about to embark upon the most difficult year of your academic career. And I was trying to prepare you for the rigors and the inevitable grind that it was sure to dull your enthusiasm for your chosen profession. I needed you to have a touch point, a guiding light, a North Star of sorts that could provide that internal, eternal glow that would light your way even when the days looked darkest, your hopes were all but dashed, and when you came to a fork in your life's road. For many of you, that was the first time you ever truly thought about it. For others, it was the first time you ever actually said it. This basic question is so fundamental for our raison d'être, our reason for being, that we actually devote very little time or energy to pondering its true meaning. Like our beating heart or our expanding lungs, we think very little of it until we're on the precipice of a major life event. Or for some, not until we're on our deathbed. For many of you, your why is represented by those with us today. Some physically in this room, others looking down from heaven, but all beaming with pride at who you are and who you've become. Let me share another little tale with you. I recently had the opportunity to work closely with the most gifted student clinician I'd ever come across in my 25-year career, and it nearly never happened. 6 years ago, a bright-eyed, gregarious young woman applied to optometry school. The daughter of immigrant parents and a first generation of American, she understood the value of hard work and perseverance. This young woman was rejected. She wasn't even waitlisted. She was simply told in no uncertain terms that she wasn't good enough to join us. Undeterred, she focused her energy on gaining more experience in the optometric community in the field, enhancing her academic portfolio, and channeling her energy into crushing the oat. The next year, she was accepted. And in a few weeks, she'll graduate. Oh, and that's not the end of that tale. It continues. She was selected into one of the most highly sought-after residency programs in the United States. Why? Because she never lost sight of her why, her family, and the need to prove to herself that she was equal to any task. Those are what always lit her path. How is this relevant? You may be asking yourself, well, it exemplifies the never-ending obstacles that you will continue to face, the forks in the road demanding your final decisions, the incessant need to fend off naysayers, the boundless love needed to mend broken relationships, and the will to overcome tremendous despair. I promise all of you this: if you never lose sight of your why, your North Star, you'll always be all right. I'll leave you with this verse from Robert Frost's The Road Not Taken. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in the woods, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to walk alongside you, if only for a brief while, on this, your road. Less travel. I wish you all the best in your journey and want nothing more than for all of you to be blessed. With the joys realized through your relentless pursuit of excellence, the fulfillment of living not your best life, but your better life, and the ever-present, ever-reassuring, never-ending glow from your North Star. May your life be full of meaningful moments making a difference in our world. God bless, and always watch over you.
Thank you, Dr. Heffner. Well, it is now the time that we've all been waiting for. We have the opportunity to present the coats to the class of 2023. You ready? Yeah? Yeah, for sure. That's right. So I'd like to welcome Dr. Heffner, Dr. Kinoshita, and Dr. Clemens to go ahead and get ready to give the coats. I mean, what else are we gonna do? All right. Yep. All
right. Jesse Allen. Nicole Antonio. Gurkarit Atkar. Joseph Baker. Eric Barnier. Hunter Bollorier. Sarah Bayless. Rachel Blakemore. Luke Boren. Janae Brown. Trenton Cameron. Alita Carlson. Carissa Cervantes. William Chattel. Sarah Kushan. Katrina Dang. Tuisan Dang. Melissa Davies. Jasmine Dhaliwal. Maneet Dhaliwal. Alicia Didi. Caitlin Doyle. Mark Fisher. Chandler Flynn. Zachary Frost. Ryan Gerbing. Lupita Gomez. Shane Hager. Drew Hargrove. Madison Hay. Juan Herrera. Callie Marie Hirasa. Sorry. Sarah Ho. Anna Hong. Jenna Hoyland. Austin Hoy. Elena Jacobson. Brianna Johnson. Preston Judy. Jennifer Can. Shinobu Kajimoto. Maya Kennan. Ravleen Kurana. Shane Kinzer. Shayla Kozak. Olga Krausar. Jared Lambert. Tiffany Larson. Calisandra Larson. Lillian Lee. David Lee. Erica Lee. Tim Liebrens. Julia Lepke. Becca MacDowell. Brianna Mayers. Christy Merez. Bryn Markowski. Jonathan Marquette. Jada Matson. Laura McIntyre. Avisa Mohammed Hassani. Artine Mongate. Christina Wynn. Rachel Osmondson. Nicole Pacer. Anna Paffrath. Poonam Panu. Elizabeth Peters. Kaylin Phillips. Helene Pippin. Landon Pitcher. Matthew Richardson. Chris Robison. Rima Saba. Macy Santa Elena. Francesco Secchi. Weston Sherwood. Rajan Sidhu. Kirsten Stayer. Jasmine Steffen. Hayden Theme. Morgan Thompson. Hunter Thronson. Despina Villanes. Jessica Vo. Tamara Weeks. Sherry Wong. Dee Wu. Brandon Wyatt. And Stephanie Yoren.
All right, well, congratulations to the class of 2023. Let's hear it. All right, you ready? So they thought that was the easy part, which actually they thought it was the hard part. That was actually easy. Now, you actually get to take an oath. So I'm gonna ask the class of 2023 to please stand. So you get to make this this oath in front of all your family and friends to show the responsibility that's out there with this white coat. So please recite the oath with me. With full deliberation, I freely and solemnly pledge that I will practice optometry faithfully and conscientiously and to the fullest scope of my competence. I will uphold and honorably promote by example and action the highest standards, ethics, and ideals of my chosen profession and the honor of the degree Doctor of Optometry. I will provide professional care for those who seek my services with concern, with compassion, and with due regard for their human rights and dignity. I will place the treatment of those who seek my care above personal gain and strive to see that none shall lack for proper care. I will hold as privileged and inviolable all information entrusted to me in confidence by my patients. I will advise my patients fully and honestly of all which may serve to restore, maintain, or enhance their vision and general health. I will strive continuously to broaden my knowledge and skills so that my patients may benefit from all new and efficacious means to enhance the care of human vision. I will share information cordially and unselfishly with my fellow optometrists and other professionals for the benefit of patients in the advancement of human knowledge and welfare. I will do my utmost to serve my community, my country, and humankind as a citizen as well as an optometrist. I hereby commit myself to be steadfast in the performance of this, my solemn oath and obligation. Very nice. All right, nice job. You can be seated. You can be seated. So as much as you may have kind of chuckled at maybe being out of unison a couple times, trust me, that is way better than when we did that on Zoom, right? Way better than on Zoom. So we are very fortunate in the fact that we have partners in industry, in the community, and also professional partners. I'd like to make sure that we thank our partners at CooperVision and also at Luxottica for their support of today's white coat ceremony. Yeah, we can clap for them. In addition, I want to talk a little bit about our professional partner. Some of you may not realize that the profession of optometry is a legislated profession. This means that in order for us to change what we can do within a given state or province, we must go to our state legislators or provincial in order to educate and help our elected officials understand what we do or what to do for the betterment of the citizens in our state or province. In addition to legislation, our state and provincial associations provide support in various ways, whether that's education, collaboration, and in my opinion, most importantly, it develops a sense of community. We have an amazing state association in Oregon called the Oregon Optometric Physicians Association. Our partnership has provided so many opportunities, and we look forward to further collaborations. One of the collaborations is an annual scholarship. And so for our ceremony today, we have the executive director of UPA, Jeff, who will present this award. So please join me in welcoming Jeff Knapp.
What a bunch of positive energy. This is just absolutely remarkable. One thing I'd like to say is thanks to Dr. Heffner, who is a member of our board of directors, and a couple of students here who have been really, really close to the organization. And if you want to know anything about our membership, call on Luke or Drew. They'd be happy to help you out. This is the Oregon Optometric Physicians Association Endowed Scholarship Fund. It started about 3 years ago with $25,000 from our members put into this endowment fund. It was, again, about 3 years ago, and it's awarded to students at the end of their second or beginning of their third year. Recipients must be Oregon residents, student members of UPA, and upon graduation, intend to practice in Oregon. The Oregon Optometric Physicians Association is a statewide organization. It's comprised of more than 700 members, including doctors of optometry, College of Optometry faculty, optometric students, and industry-related associates. Our mission is to promote, protect, and advance the professional practice of optometry. The awardee gained her bachelor's degree from Portland State University in 2014 and master's in health management and policy in 2019. What was an original 5-year plan morphed into a 10-year vision. Her first post-graduation goal is to join a residency program that delivers care to underserved populations. She's looking at places like the VA or Indian Health Services. She wants patients to know that she's there to offer quality of care and that she prioritizes their well-being. Once she reaches a point in her practice that she feels that she can be culturally competent and offer exemplary care, she plans to return to the world of academia, right here at Pacific. She hopes to teach through a public health lens. She wants to give back to Oregon's growing community as a practicing optometrist, an educator, and active member of the community. She says that if she's able to make a positive change in someone else's life, she will have met her lifetime goal. And one little word from one of our board members. UPA is thankful to have such an involved group of students at Pacific University, and this awardee is dedicated to the profession and involvement in UPA that will continue as she begins her career as an optometric physician. It's now my proud honor to welcome Christina Yen to the stage. Congratulations, and would you like to say a word? Well, I can tell you, she brings a lot more. She's just stunned by this award. Thank you all very much, and congratulations again to Christina. A well-deserved award, and thank you.
All right, thank you, Jeff. So this is definitely going down as a very memorable ceremony. It's pretty good. It's been awesome. So I know to drink water. It's great. So, okay. We now have the opportunity to welcome somebody who you've heard from already, but believe me, he is full of advice and wisdom. As much as he said he was the ugly duckling among swans, I don't think that's even close to the truth. So he is a leader in our pack. Swans aren't a pack. What are they? Anybody know? Flock? Is it a flock of swans? No. It's gaggle of geese and gaggle of swans? Okay, well, regardless, he's the leader within our, wow, okay. So please join me in welcoming back to the podium, Dr. Bill Heffner.
Ay, ay, ay. All right, I promise I'm not gonna cry this time. Yeah, I have an emotional problem. I get attached to y'all and then you leave and then I don't know what to do with myself. So this is the point in time where normally the Associate Dean for Clinical Programs welcomes you to clinic, but that ship sailed like, I don't know, a year ago. So now it's, what do we say? Well, you know, I guess I should say something inspiring or motivating to send you on your way, but you know, honestly, I'm spent. I don't have anything left in the tank. I gave it all this morning. So I'm just gonna give you all the bullet, the deets, the lowdown on how to wow your preceptors this year. Okay, so I'll give you that stuff and then you'll be done with me. Well, until you get the phone call from me in June, July, August, and I'm just checking in on you, okay? Number one, so here's how you need to wow your preceptors, okay? Number one, early is on time and on time is late. Don't be late, be early, okay? Don't show up to work late. Number two, always be prepared. Your patients deserve it. Be prepared. Don't show up and be caught flat-footed. Number three, organize your thoughts before you speak. Patient care is not the time for an extemporaneous speech. Ad-libbing is not your friend. Dr. Horn. I'm just kidding, boss, sincerely. It was nice meeting all of you. You're there to learn. The grade is secondary, so learn. Learn. Number 5, flexibility in your thought process is crucial in clinical practice. Oddly enough, very few things look like they do in the textbook, and none of them present with a red arrow, okay? So always flexible, or semper gumby, as we used to say in the military, always flexible. And number 6, attitude is everything. Have a good attitude. Show up, be ready to learn, be ready to produce, be ready to be part of the team. You're there as a guest, contribute. If you see that they need somebody to answer the phone and you're walking by, answer the phone with a professional voice. You're not above it. It's part of the team. Want to know a secret, guys? You do these things and you'll not only be successful during your coming year, but you'll be successful throughout your entire career. I spent 20 years doing that and I was marginally successful. Well, I didn't get my license revoked. We'll go there. Enjoy the coming year, y'all. You only get one chance. I need you to get out there and embrace every single experience in every single moment. Thank you.
Did you say you got your license revoked? We'll talk later. I had words written out, but I don't know where they went, so this is like par for the course. So for any of you who are expecting a super formal presentation, I am sorry that I disappointed you all. But this is kind of how we roll, right? We're family, we just go with it. And really, this is the fun time because, well, it's all been fun. But this is really the very special time because you get to hear from your classmate. And Jessica has done such an amazing job of being your leader and your advocate as a class. Everything from the pandemic, the constant contact that we had as administrators with Jessica, as well as other student leaders, whether it was a town hall coordination, and just checking in every once in a while on each of you and also on us. She is somebody who has truly been not just a leader, but a role model for you as well as all the classes here at Pacific University. So I can't wait to hear what you have to say, so please join me in welcoming Jessica Vo.
Thank you, Dean Horn, for the wonderful introduction. I think you gave me a little bit too much credit, but I'll take it. It is an honor to stand in front of you all today. I want to thank our parents, family, friends, and faculty for taking the time to join us in celebration today as we put on our white coats. What a wild ride the past 3 years have been. We have been through something unimaginable, but life never stopped. Our legacy left here at Pacific will be one of resilience and graciousness. Every obstacle that we have faced, we have conquered together as a class with kindness for one another and for those around us, and we've come out stronger than ever. As we continue on our optometric journey, the learning curve may seem insurmountable, but remember how far you've come, imagine the growth you've yet to make, and challenge yourself. Don't be afraid to ask questions, ask for help, and last of all, don't forget to be kind to yourself and to those around you. I want to end the ceremony with a quote from our one and only Pat Caroline. Our life is nothing but a bunch of chapters. You've heard this lately. 3 years later, you have completed this chapter. So here's to the next chapter, class of 2023. I can't wait to see you all again for our biggest celebration of all next year. Congratulations.
That was awesome, thank you. Well, this actually concludes our ceremony, and what we're going to do is just what all families do, right? We're going to go out back, or out front, actually. We're going to go out front and enjoy some food. So you were all welcome to go out there. Hopefully the rain stopped. We put in an order for it. We don't know if it was processed or not. But you're welcome to be out there. What we are going to ask is for all of the class of 2023, we're going to take a picture. And we're not going to take it outside. So we're going to take it in here. So what I'd like to do is go ahead and you can, we'll have you take your chairs. We'll put them off to the side. Sorry, housekeeping stuff right now. And then we'll get you all arranged. We're actually, this is like a team building ice breaking exercise where you get to figure out how you want to be positioned. And then we will take photos of you as a class, okay? Sound good? So on the count of 3, we're all going to clap for you. And all your family's gonna watch you do organized chaos. Okay, ready? On 3, 1, 2, 3. Woo!